adjustment period after that, 6%. So I knew basically within 2 or 3 years where my interest rates would be. And I was pretty safe and confident that it was going to be a good loan. And I did ultimately refinance when the fixed rates came down to a reasonable level. But I knew that I could afford, if I had to pay 7% or 8%, that I could afford the payment based on the loan that I took out. It was just simple math. In today's market, or in the past market, what people did is they took out a variable rate loan today with a 5% interest rate, and the first adjustment went up 3 points or 4 points, depending on what the market rate was at the adjustment cycle. There was no cap on the first adjustment, and that's where people got into trouble. Because if you went from 5% to 9%, you almost doubled your payment, and you couldn't afford it. And so what do? You're in a financial hardship. You try to sell your house, but you have no equity. It lost value. So anyway, you have the lenders and the realtors. So, you have to listen, and your realtor should be advising you as a professional. I always advise my clients. Not all realtors will. They just want to see you get any loan, regardless of they know you can afford it or not. So, you need to be able to trust people that you can. Most of us, when we go into a store and a salesman approaches us and says, "May I help you?" what's our first answer? I'm sure 99% of you said, "No, you can't help me because you're a salesman and I don't trust you." Well, pretty much realtors and lenders or mortgage brokers are the same thing. They're salesmen. They just have a title, realtor or a mortgage broker or a loan officer. Title is a title, but they're still salesmen. And you need to do your homework. You can't rely on them. So anyway, there's a couple of loans that people took out. They took out loans with teaser rates and they couldn't afford it. But basically you as the consumer knew you couldn't afford it, so you shouldn't have taken it out. But I know the realtors and the loan officers, I know what they told you. Don't worry about it. In 2 years you'll refinance, and you'll have so much equity, and you can take equity out of your house. And they painted you a beautiful, beautiful picture that even though you had some doubts, the picture was so beautiful that you didn't look at those doubts, or they were clouded. Let me just say this. If you can't afford 6 or 7% today at a fixed rate, what makes you think you could afford 6 or 7% in 2 years from today? Now, if the interest rates today are going at, let's say, 5%, don't think the interest rates are going to be 5% in 2 years from now. It doesn't make sense. Inflation will change that. You're not going to have the same interest rates today as you will in 2 years from today. I believe that interest rates in 2 years will be higher. It's just economics. It just doesn't make sense for it to be lower. It could be, but I doubt it will be. But anyway, if you can't afford the loan today at a fixed rate, you can't afford it in 2 years. So you're always going to be refinancing at a variable rate loan as long as you can, as long as you keep building equity. Because if you don't build equity, you can't refinance. But anyway, it's going to cost you money. You're not going to refinance for free. Don't think these people are just being nice about it and they're going to refinance for free. No, they're going to charge you 2 more points, and then 2 more points. And pretty much most of the people that are buying homes with no money down, they don't have that much in savings anyway. So how are they going to get the money to refinance? Oh, don't worry, you can pull the money out of your house before you refinance. Well, you're digging the hole deeper. So what happened is people took out loans that knowingly they couldn't afford, or they couldn't afford when the adjustment cycle would come in. There's just a whole bunch of reasons. And I don't want to get into an economic discussion why we have this market, but I will, in the next video, talk about in more in depth where the market is going and where I think it's going, where I see it headed and for how long, and what you can do as a buyer or a seller. And I think you're all going to find that pretty interesting, so I would definitely check out my next video, because in the next video I'm going to go over some things about inventories on the market and where the prices are going, and pretty much it's going to be the same no matter what location you're at. Prices will be at different percentages in different places, but pretty much the market will all be the same. So no matter where you're tuning in from, it'll benefit you. So I hope you check out my next video, and I will see you shortly. Okay, you all have a great day. And if you have any questions, you can definitely email me or ask me any questions, and I'll answer them as truthfully and honestly as I can. I know I can probably answer pretty much any question you give to me. So I look forward to your questions, and I look forward to helping a lot of people that might not be in such great situations, or that are working with a realtor or a lender and they're not sure of something and aren't getting the answers that they think they need. Anyway, just remember this: if it doesn't make sense to you, it probably isn't true. And so I hope to hear from a whole bunch of you soon, and I hope you'll tune back in for the next video. You all have a great day. Bye.